Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Educational Views. My name is Angela Houston at angelahouston.com, where I teach you how to teach, create, and lead. I have my homegirls here. We got Tiffany over there. We have Akila, Angel, Lavon, and Dar. Say what's up to the YouTube community.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey. Excited. All right, so everybody just introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself and what you do. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Tiffany, like 2 seconds.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I am a teacher here at a district in Cincinnati. I am the STEM advisor.
My name is Angel. I am a secretary and a mom of 2.
My name is Akila Rogers, and I'm also a mom of 3 girls, and I'm also a teacher, a special ed teacher.
All right, Dar.
I am Dar. I am an administrator at a daycare center, also in Cincinnati. I have 4 kids, and I'm excited to be here.
All right, and then Lavon.
My name is Lavon. I am a math and science guru, educator, and I have kids. Some that don't belong to me, but they still live with me. So there's that.
Right.
I have kids.
Angela
I like that.
Houston. I have 2 kids, and I'm also an English teacher, blogger, AngelaMHouston.com, where all things education live. I did interview Lavon and Akila, and I'll be interviewing the other ladies as well. All right, so let's start off with something a little bit fun. You guys talked about when we're off camera, you just moved in, you're in new buildings and everything, and what are you doing about eating and people bringing in donuts, and how's that going with the food situation in your new buildings?
It's the COVID.
What do you mean it's the COVID?
Do you want to eat or are you going to pass? If someone offers you something during this time, I'm going to pass. What about you, Tiffany?
I think it really would depend on the person. There are honestly some people that I've developed a relationship with that I would be okay. And then to be honest, there are some people that I haven't, and I probably would be like, I'm full. Thank you very much.
Not I'm full.
We had like a continental, like Nutri-Grain bars, juices, and oranges.
Covered.
Grab and go.
Prepackaged.
Yes.
Individually wrapped.
Yes,
Yep.
individually
It was
wrapped.
in a central location, just grab and go. And we had Yep. Lots of refrigerators being taken out.
Dar, what y'all doing at the daycare?
It's definitely got to be, like she said, prepackaged, purchased items only, no homemade stuff. And I agree with Tiffany. If I know you and I know what you've been doing, then I will partake. But if I don't know you,
I'm okay. Pass.
If you have cats, I ain't eating. Because cats pop up everywhere. So
Excuse me, I don't agree with that whole statement.
But I know you. So that's a little different. I know you don't let your cats up on when I come over your house, I don't ever see your cats up on stuff. But if I have not been to your house, like even if I know you and we're great coworkers, if I haven't been to your house, then nah, probably not.
So I take a little offense to that sometimes, but I understand that. Like, yeah, some certain people do allow their animals to cook with them.
Yeah.
That's gross.
There was a meme. There was a meme on Facebook or Instagram. There was the cat with their hand in the mouth.
No.
Put it away.
No.
Take it back.
All right, so moving on, we have the Democratic National Convention that started yesterday. It's going on tonight as well. What do you guys think about who's running? That we finally have a Black vice president, female vice president, Kamala. How you guys feeling about that?
Girl power.
Yay!
And she's a graduate of a HBCU.
Okay.
Isn't she your soror, Vaughn?
Yeah. Yes, she is.
Yes, yes.
We won't hold that against her, but okay.
You better not.
Don't
That's
hold
the
it
best.
against her.
That's the best thing about her. Why you playing?
Don't hold it
So-
against her. Vaughn came to work yesterday in royal blue with pearls. She wants to be finer.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody got to show y'all how to dress. I mean, I don't understand.
Come
I
on
don't
to the
Show
finer
understand.
y'all how to
side.
dress.
Better
Show
come
y'all how
on.
to dress.
Somebody have to. I mean, if you're going to wear, you might as well look nice. So let me be your example.
Definitely representing every day. Let me show you a picture of what I wore yesterday.
I'm excited. I'm excited about having an African American woman as vice president. I was also kind of disappointed at how quickly we went from being united to Black Lives Matter to pointing out things that she did while she was a senator. I'm like, wow, we went from being united, it's all about us, to now let's talk about everything she ever did that was wrong. Like, she's the only person who's done things that you didn't really agree with.
But she was doing her job, wasn't she? She was a
doing her job.
prosecutor. She was following the rules of the law.
Yeah, and what somebody had pointed out was that she was doing her job in a system that wasn't created for us anyway. So I don't know how much, in order for her to do her job, I don't know how much she could have done. Is that making any sense? Like, if she's a prosecutor, she has to prosecute you.
Right.
I would hope she would want to, do well at her job, but she's also doing a job in a system that's broken beyond her.
Right.
So I just don't understand. At this point in time, somebody has said, like, right now it's either or. That's where we're at. Like, we don't have time to nitpick. We're in an either or situation. Like, either this or that.
Well, she's
What you want?
she's doing her job, but at the same time, she's slowly getting to a position where she can change some of the rules. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, period. Because she was a senator. We also know the people that it takes to change the rules. So she's going through the process and hopefully bringing other people along to show them that we need to change these rules to make them equal.
But like Ron said, you don't have a lot of choices. So are we going to just give her the chance to prove herself, or are we going to jump on another bandwagon?
Yeah, because the other bandwagon, we ain't jumping on. We're not jumping on.
I don't want it.
No.
We breaking that bandwagon.
I don't want it.
No, you keep it.
Put it away.
We breaking that one.
Take it back.
We broke
Put
it.
it away.
Put it away.
We're gonna burn it.
Burn it down.
So plus I think about this, like I was listening to an Unbound Ed, watching the Unbound Ed video, and when I was talking to elementary school, we did DuckTales and Bubbles, right? Where you had the kids, walk, wave, and bubble, walking like that, right? And I used to think it was so cute, like, oh my gosh, they're DuckTales and Bubbles and blah, blah, blah. But what she talked about was that kids in other districts don't have to do DuckTales and Bubbles. They are allowed to talk and walk freely. They don't have to be quiet, they don't have to, they don't have to walk in a line, but a lot of people try to control kids in an urban setting. And while I thought it was cute, and if I was an elementary school teacher, especially being new, I would have had my kids do DuckTales and Bubbles because I thought that's what was cute. So we have all done something in this system, that messed up our kids, even having uniform, you know what I mean? And trying to make things even with uniform. It was a great idea, but we see how many issues that it caused. So again, with her situation, again, she was in a racist system. That was a really, really good point. And we have all partaken in this racist system. And done things that when we look back, we're like, dang, did I do that? So that, now we need a chance to be forgiven for and move on and correct.
Good point.
I agree.
All
But
right.
it's exciting, though. It's exciting to see a Black woman. It's exciting to see a woman, period. I know a lot of people were really hoping that Elizabeth Warren, that her campaign got more steam than it did. So that is exciting because it's nice to see someone that looks like you in places where, we don't normally see that. So even just like for Barack, or even all the way back to Jesse Jackson when he ran for presidency, it's nice to have someone that looks like us. And I think a lot of people, other people take that for granted because they always see someone that looks like them.
Right.
So it's like, hey, we may not see this for a while. So let's, rally behind it as much as we can.
And it makes people think that it's possible. Even with Shirley Chisholm, that was way back.
Right.
History. But Shirley Chisholm, she ran, and look how long it's taken.
Right. Agreed.
Think about this. In our lifetime, we've seen a Black president, and now we're going to see a Black woman vice president. And how much stuff are we living through that our parents never got a chance to live through? The things, some of the things that they fought for.
Good and bad.
Right, good and bad. But
good and bad, right.
We actually here to be alive to see. We will never see anything, some things that our kids will experience.
That's true.
The sad part of this process.
That Spanish flu, you know what I'm saying? They say that what stuff happens around a whole another century. Then people didn't live to see another pandemic, so we happen to be alive during this pandemic. Hopefully our kids don't have to live through another one. But at least they will know how to prepare for that one, hopefully. It's history.
The sad part of the process for me is, I think somebody had already said, we ain't choosing that other way, so we got to choose this way. I would have liked to seen her have a quote unquote real chance and see how things turned out. Whereas, right now, like you said, a lot of people are like, I ain't voting for him, so I'm voting for them. I would have liked to see her have a real chance.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point, Dar.
She's like the default right now. She's like the default.
Oh, that sounds bad.
But it sounds bad, but that's kind of what it is. It's like, I'm going to choose you by default.
Hey,
but I know a couple jobs I done got by default.
Oh, yeah?
That have now elevated me to another level. So like you said, you may have been the default choice.
Right.
However,
it's put you in a
it's
position.
what you do with this,
Yeah.
True.
And even though she was a default, she did beat out 9 other people.
She did.
That were on the list. Now they happen to be all women or whatever the case may be, but she did emerge as a front runner from the list, because it was like, you need a woman, blah 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 blah. So
right. And if that's a default that you need a woman or you need a Black woman, but before we weren't even thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like how long has it been that wasn't even possible? So now it's on people's minds. It should be a thing. Well, everybody should just be qualified. It should be based on your qualifications. You're gonna tell me that a woman and a Black woman has not been qualified in all these years of America?
Right.
So,
and the thing about it is, she actually is qualified. Like her
resume is great.
Like I read something. I wish I could pull it up. I did read an article that it was like, if you look at her credentials versus Obama's credentials, like she actually has more under her belt than he did at the time. If you look at the time when they were running. So that's that's
Yes. All right, moving on to schools reopening. How do you guys feel about schools reopening? What's your school district doing? Dar, how's that going with the daycare? What's going on?
I want to hear Dar. How's that going? Because y'all are in there. So how is that?
It is a whole nother world. I am blessed to have, I'm the assistant director. My director is amazing and is very knowledgeable about this field. But let me tell you, it is a headache. So the governor has allowed us to go back to full ratios. Before, we were operating under pandemic ratios, meaning we were at a very low capacity. We normally have 135 enrolled. We've been operating around 65, 70 kids. Our center has decided that even though the governor lifted it or allowed us to go back to normal ratios, we are staying at pandemic ratios. We are adding more classes to accommodate these school agers that will be at our centers all day.
Yes.
So because we understand, people still got to go to work. They still got to do their thing. But we still have to operate under these pandemic protocols.
Mhm.
So we're going to have a classroom. We do have some classrooms or some schools in our district that are going back full time. So we're making a after school only class. And then we're trying to separate the kids. You know, we're going to have a kindergarten, first grade class, second grade, third grade class, just trying to keep the kids together around the same age. And we're just telling parents, we will do our best. If they are supposed to be on a video call at 10 a.m., we will make sure they are on that call at 10 a.m. But if they need us to sit down and break down their assignments for them,
That's something you can't do. Yeah.
we're going to answer as many questions as we can, but we can't do the whole assignment.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
So that's the one.
What about the isolation room?
You have the isolation room?
It's so close.
You have what room?
The isolation room.
Isolation room. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, if somebody's sick?
They go to our front office, which is connected to my office. So they have a space. It's not completely separate, but they have their space.
Okay.
So you're putting the people in the front office.
With you?
Which is how it always is. Even if your child was to come to the office with a temperature on any
They
normal
go
day,
there.
they're
True,
going to
very
sit in
true.
that front office and isolate. So I'm going to give them a mat and a blanket, and I will probably turn some cartoons on until mommy comes.
Oh, no.
So are you taking temperature of kids when they come in, or what does that look like? Or is it just?
No, we take temperatures as the kids walk in. Parents stop at the front door. They check their kids in on our tablet, sanitizing their hands first. And then we take the kids to their class. School agers are required to wear masks. Probably like first grade and under, we don't require them to wear masks. And then parents are on their way and we get their kids settled. Thankfully, a lot of our kids have been with us since infancy.
Ready.
So even though Miss Dar has on a mask, they know who I am, and I can get them to class without a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
What, Dar, I'm still going back to this front office thing right now. So sorry. So do you
this feel personal, Archer? This feel personal. This is personal. Where's your isolation room at your school? In your front?
We have an isolation room, but I'm just saying, do you have like a divider or something to protect?
That probably would be a good idea. There is technically a sliding door there that we wouldn't shut under normal circumstances, but in childcare, they still have to be supervised.
You still got to listen and see them. Yeah, I get that. I'm just like, maybe a shower curtain or something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. See, there we go. Help each other out, because
I like it in the shower. But I mean, I guess that's like they have it with a lot of restaurants. For a long time, they had some shower curtains going.
Yeah, we've divided some of our classrooms in half, and Will, our maintenance man, has built us some temporary partitions, and he could probably do something like that for that front office. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yay, look at you. Come through.
Right. Does he build classroom dividers? Like, I may need something around my desk.
I'll have Shelly send you some of his work.
Listen, I may need
let me tell you something. Will, can you show him like a prototype, or you tell him what you want? Will can build anything.
He gonna get you.
He gonna get you. He gonna get you together, and then you gonna want basic. He gonna be like, nah, we can't do it. That don't look good. You gotta have it. Like
I never want basic. That's not real. I never want basic. I want all of the frills.
We are not doing a bling.
Name on it.
We're not doing the bling.
Well, I'm not like her, Archer, who blinged out her face shield. Now, I'm not that bad, but
me, the principal, and the other secretary, we are blinged out.
Hey, you gotta have fun with it. I mean, it's gonna be a part of your repertoire. Like, it's now part of it's an outfit. It's a piece of your outfit, right?
It is.
Right?
Yes.
You be like car keys, pants, mask. You know, you gotta have.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right, bling bling, bling bling. Is that old now? Am I dating myself?
No. Yes, you are.
Sorry, my bad.
Who was that? Chingy?
No, that was Lil Wayne. Like,
yeah. It was.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about online dress code. Are you gonna make your kids be in uniform? Because there is a school in Illinois that
Mm-hmm.
makes their kids A, have their
Yeah.
cameras on, and B, not even just in Illinois, but I did read as far as having the cameras on, but definitely having a dress code. Like the kids got to come in uniform to the Zoom or Google Meet.
Uniform.
Okay. I want to comment. I think I'm on both sides of the fence. I agree, but as a teacher during the pandemic, I've had days where I felt like I just wanted to be in the bed and I was productive. Then I had other days when I felt like, you know what, let me get up, get dressed, get to a table and do X, Y, Z. Now, on the parent side, I mean, I know they feel like, well, this is my house, you can't control my house, but you can kind of bargain with them and say, well, hey, you know, when it's a whole class, tell little Johnny to get dressed and have him at the table. But when it's one-on-one sessions, you know, if you need some extra help, Johnny, you know, if you want to be in your room or in your game chair or whatever, sure, I'll one-on-one session with you in your chair. Or, you know, when it's like independent work, tell the parent, you can do whatever you want to do with little Johnny during independent work, but from 9 to 10, he should be at the table. You know, where it's kind of like giving them a little flexibility, not saying, hey, you have to do X, Y, Z, because you know you're going to have some parents that's going to argue with you on that.
I agree with Akila, and I'm not saying you should be in your uniform, but we are training our kids for the world outside of this. And even though it's remote, we're not going to work with bonnets. Even when I taught from home, I didn't have my bonnet on. I didn't have on my home team uniform. You know, I love my little Minnie Mouse nightgown. I have on my Minnie Mouse nightgown. I had on a shirt. I had on, my hair was nice, you know, my glasses. I brushed my face and all that kind of stuff. So I know they're home, but if we're preparing them for work and we're preparing them for a technological world in which you may genuinely be working at home, I don't want to meet with the CEO in his pajamas. I need you from the top up to be professional. Now, what your bottom looks like, that's personal. But here, just don't get up and I see your drawers. But, you know, I don't want to see Spider-Man like, wait a minute. But from this part up, I'm trying to prepare you for the real world. And
that's true.
Actually, very much, I don't think you should require them to have their camera on. I don't think we should regulate what they look like. I am siding on the side of social, emotional well-being and mental health, and all the trauma that these kids have been exposed to during this time. And you know, I can't stand bonnets. You know, that is my thing. But I'm going to, like, if a kid shows up in a bonnet, this would be the time that I would not tell that person to take it off. I think our kids need just a little bit of love and grace right now. So, like, even my kid, I just had a conversation with Talia, and she's like, Mom, are they going to require us to have our camera on? I was like, probably not. I said, you may want to do it once in a while, just so that you get, you know, a feel and you can kind of act like this is a real thing. I said, but I understand the comfort. I understand the comfort of being in a hoodie or having a hood on. I understand that. I think that as educators, as long as engagement is there, let's focus on that. So if I have a kid who never shows his face, but will talk to me in the chat or will text me or will answer my Google form or do whatever, I'm okay with that because he's engaged or she is engaging with me in some form. But right now, I'm actually erring on the side of whatever makes them comfortable. If you gotta have your hood on like this so you can come to class, that's fine. Like, do you know what 5 times 5 is? That's really what.
I don't think we should mandate it. I do think we should set norms. You know, like, and say things like it. You know, it would be lovely. I don't want to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every class. I don't want your camera off. Every now and then. Yeah. And then I also think this is what we got to do. Like Akila was saying, build a relationship with a parent because you know your child, and if you know your child can wear that hoodie and still do that work, I ain't worried about your child. Yeah. I'm worried about the child that's gonna be chewing on it and just be told, squirrel. Come on now. You know your kid. I'm that kid. That if I talk from home My TV be on, y'all be talking, and I'm watching Investigation Discovery trying to figure out who done it. I'm not gonna pay attention to y'all. That's me.
For some of the kids in our district, just the fact that they are logged on makes me feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
I mean, I'm gonna talk to the parents too. Like, you know your child. If me and you got this relationship, and that relationship is gonna be a lot right now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take more to build those relationships. I know I did something online, and the way, like, I'm usually in the classroom, like, building those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more for me to try to get them to turn their camera on. There was a lot of feedback. There was a lot of praise I had to give. And then we were with that, because it was a summer program, we were only meeting like once a week. That was horrible for building relationships. It was like, as soon as I got the momentum going, I just start all over again. But definitely putting in that time and effort in the beginning to build those relationships and make kids feel comfortable. And you're absolutely right, Neil, if you constantly take your bonnet off, take your do this, do that, you have completely
ruined it.
You have ruined the relationship. Matter of fact, I was in a meeting today with an adult, and the adult said to another adult, I know you ain't got that man bun. Angela, your hair is shorter than his. You lucky. We in this, I looked at him like, just like that. So he knew, like, you just can be all kind of crazy. And if I was a kid, shut down time.
Yeah, definitely shut down time.
2 kids down in your classroom at that very moment.
And they don't need no help shutting down. They can do that all on their own.
By themselves.
Like, they don't need no help shut down. You hear me?
And from a teacher's perspective, though, I also think it would be interesting, like, with my babies or even with my middle school kids, to make it an incentive. Hey, you in school 5 days a week. Hey, on Friday, it's pajama day. Everybody wear their pajamas. We gonna be on Zoom. We gonna be in Google Meet with our pajamas on.
Yeah, I can do that.
Next week we gonna wear our hats. The next week we gonna wear our sunglasses.
I can do that.
It could be an incentive.
Isn't that part of like PBIS to offer incentives like that?
It should be.
It should be. At least for right now.
Our school is offering some type of incentive for doing certain things online, in the classroom. But I mean, like today, we had a lot of teachers that was fussing because the principal sent out an email saying that please be professional on top. She said, she don't care what you wear on the bottom, just look professional on top.
And showing the kids, like, what does that look like? What does professional look like? And honestly, having a bonnet on is fine. Like, somebody having a bonnet or a scarf or whatever, let's not nitpick those things. Are you dressed? Can I see,
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of half. I'm like with Keela, half and half on it. I'm like, I want, from a person who has corporate background, it's like you're gonna have to be professional on something. Sometimes it's a time and place to dress it, but the teacher does not need to harp on the fact that the kid is not dressed. Like, oh, hey, Johnny, so we're going to put some clothes on today? Oh, okay. But guess what? 2 times 2 is 4. You know what I'm saying?
On that relationship.
But we still have to teach our kids how to survive in society. You're going to have to put something on to look professional, look presentable on camera.
But at this time, we are in panic mode. Let's be clear. At this time, this is not the norm. You know what I mean? Like, if my kid was at Digital Academy, or if my kid was, it's something like that, then maybe. And again, maybe that's up to the parent. But as a teacher, that's just not something. My main focus needs to be on building relationships right now, because of what we're in. You know what I mean?
Right.
We are not in norm. We're not in normal. And so some things, like, you just need to let go.
Yeah.
But it's still part of teaching them society. It's still part of our responsibility to teach them some things in society. Look, we don't have to spend 20 minutes on it. We don't have to spend more than 30 seconds on it. Just put a nice shirt on when you're talking to someone else. Just make no difference in your house.
I think that could be embedded into, when you talk about things, like, that could be embedded in, let's talk about a professional attire. Let's talk about, if you have a career day, or if you have because you talk about professional attire, never once in school was I required to wear a shirt and tie.
No, I'm not talking about professional. I'm talking about just presentable.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can talk about what being presentable is
It's a
without
shirt.
that being the focus. I'm sorry, go ahead, Akila.
No, I was just going to come in and say, go back to the relationship, because if I know, if I have a relationship with that family, I know that they may be struggling or they may be okay. So if I know that that family, that particular family is, let's say, okay during this time, the mother didn't miss a beat, she still has her job, blah, 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 she has support in her house and her family, then I know I can say to that child, hey, next Zoom or next meeting, I want you to XYZ. But if I know I have a family that's not doing too well, that's joining families, clothes and everything is an issue, losing jobs and stuff like that, really affected, somebody caught COVID, then that's not even relevant. Like it's the relationship that you have with the child, the parent, the student.
And I think you got to know when to talk about it. And like from Akila's perspective, I'm not going to do that in a whole class meet. That's when we have our one-on-one.
Definitely
I'm going to ask that child like, hey, what's going on? You need some help or something like that. And then I think this is a good time to also explain children that what fairness really means. Fairness and equity are two different things. Like making sure kids understand what's fair is what's best for you. I got to do what's best for you. So I might have a child that I might have to let be off camera or not be all the way together. But like Akila said, if we already know your family got it, I'm not going to flaunt it, but you don't really get an excuse.
You don't have to have it just to have a t-shirt on.
All right.
You wear a
t-shirt. It depends on what your environment is like.
You put a white t-shirt on. You wear a t-shirt outside. You can put a white t-shirt on.
I'm gonna need you to have a shirt on. I'm gonna need you to have a shirt on.
Yeah, I need to have a shirt on.
Not dressed up in a suit and tie. I'm just talking about a shirt.
Wait a minute. You better have a shirt on.
We ain't.
But y'all gotta remember what the original.
I'm sorry.
Y'all gotta remember what the original topic, the question was. It was regarding uniforms, not just being dressed.
It was uniforms, right? Exactly.
They bringing us back, sis. They bringing us back.
I'm gonna be honest. Our kids are already struggling to have uniforms. Even when we were in the building, it was like every time you turned around, go downstairs, and then you got some parents who are, I don't want them wearing that, and you like, but we washing them on a regular basis. I don't want them wearing that because y'all singling my child out, making me feel like. So when they come to uniform, I'm one of these ones like we can throw the uniform to the side. Let's just have a little dress code.
Yeah.
Something that's appropriate. No words on it. I mean, nothing like no cussing. We know appropriate stuff versus you all wear blue and orange.
You cannot deny a child education because of what they're wearing.
Boom. It's never denied. It's just trying to enforce that is hard. And then you do have PBIS. I'm not going to punish you when I know your mom can't do this right now. I don't care how many vouchers they got.
Let's be clear. I can, but sometimes my own kids want to buck the system or they see what's going on around them.
Right.
The part of, fairness and equity and blah, blah. He's 10, he's 12. I can explain it till I'm blue in the face right now. That's not a conversation I want to have.
And let's also think about the fact that some of these children are going to possibly be home by themselves. If they are going to be required to wear a uniform, who's going to be there to enforce that?
Nobody's on it. I don't have time.
And then who's going to have the consequence?
I don't have time. I want to love on you, and I want to teach.
Go to the bathroom. Like, what you doing?
These the same kids. These the same kids that get themselves ready in the morning during the school year. So the expectation's not going to change. I just want you in there. I just want to see your face. I want to see that you surviving, you healthy, you got some food. I want a cap on you. I want to show you I love you in my own way. I want you to learn, but I need you to know that I love you. That's what I need.
Hey, this is the parent. What do you want me to do about it? I told him already. I texted him. I'm at work. Bye.
Does he have a shirt on? He got a shirt
on?
Okay,
is he there? Did he wake up on time? Then we're good.
Did he turn his work in? Done.
Because let's be clear, I'm going to be like texting and calling my kid like, hold on, class.
Yeah. I'm fortunate enough that my youngest two can come to daycare with me. So
that's nice.
have their class.
That's nice.
But Jordan and Kylie, my oldest two, they got to still be on top of it. They got to be doing their thing. They're gonna have to, that's crazy.
You gotta figure it out. But speaking of comedy, and I follow a couple teachers on Twitter, and one of the guys was like, he put out a post and was like, everybody that started back, give me some learnings, that you've learned this week. And I followed it so I could, see what everybody was saying. And one teacher was like, yo, so comedy and being funny is harder in remote learning than in person. He was like, my jokes. He was like, I need to work on my jokes.
They just don't hit the same. They hit.
Right. He was like, and that's exactly what it said. He was like, yeah, I thought it was funny, but my jokes aren't hitting the same. And I started laughing because I use comedy to build a rapport with my students. And I'm like, man, if they're gonna be like, that's not funny. Like, nope, I'm not here for it.
Like what? Yes, I know my own kids, when this summer, they were on the couch, like with the hoodies, like, stupid. Like everything was stupid. Like it didn't matter. Like I said, you have to elevate your game times 20. I felt like my student engagement and my student report game was on point in the classroom. I come to online like, hello?
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear
right.
it?
Right.
Like,
Bueller.
Right.
Everybody, dry eyes, clear eyes.
This is the year of creativity. This is the year of creativity. You better have your creative hat on, think outside the box, all kinds of stuff to get them engaged. Like,
but I think that's a good thing. I mean, I know there's a lot going on, but this is a year to reinvent yourself, reinvent your teaching, try stuff that your district said no, mess up, start over. I mean, it's just, there's so many things to do technologically that on average, as a teacher, you don't get to do because you're so worried about everything else. This year, you just be in the Google Meet like, yeah, that didn't work. We're going to exit out of that right now, and we're going to try it this way.
Doing that. Right. Not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Yep.
Try that again. All right, ladies, it's been a pleasure. I will see you next Tuesday.
I enjoy myself
at school.
Wait, what your shirt say, Houston?
My shirt says,
because you need to have it so we can.
By D&W Design.
Wait a minute, she was like, I was asking for the shirt.
Without leaving, and that is the focus of my blog, AngelaMHouston.com. I want to show you how to teach, help you with teaching, creating, and leading, but lead without leaving. So the joy back in education, show you how you can use all, the love that you have for the kids and help you so that you do not leave the education field. You might need to leave the classroom for a minute, but let's not leave the education field because, the first couple years, and even like we talked about this year, is hard. So AngelaMHouston.com, lead without leaving. I have some articles on there.
And who made that shirt? That is very nice.
I was about to ask, who made that shirt? That's a nice shirt.
Will Hampton, hit him up on Facebook, D&W Designs. I will also put the link down in the description box. All right, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, that was good.